What's up, Automators? It's Justin, founder of AutomationMaster.net, here to help you, coaches, speakers, and trainers, create automated systems that save you time and help you generate more revenue. Hope everybody is doing well, and today you're ready for this episode as we talk about this topic of how long will you last. Now, mention that I didn't say like how long will you last at all. It was how long will you last, and I probably should put and kind of an addendum at the end of that. It's just a bit of context here in a second. But again, the question of the day is how long will you last? As y'all come in, tell us who you are, tell us where you're from, tell us what you do as we get in here. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Appreciate you being here as usual. So good evening. So, as stated, right, and I think this is an important topic to spend some time on, because it's an interesting time, right? So, been quite a bit of conversation, if you've been watching any news, so you know that there's always folks saying good and bad in terms of what's going on, right? Now that a certain election cycle has passed, I feel like I can kind of just take a step back and be objective, and I don't need to pander to one side or the other. Just kind of be me and look at it from an economic standpoint. And so what's been crazy is because the government has been printing money. Okay, there's a point where I'm going with this, y'all. So just stick in with me as y'all come in again. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you do. Tell us where you're from. And I promise this ties very neatly into what you all plan to do in terms of business, what you all maybe should think about in terms of career. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, you're just a high level operator in a business, your C-suite, director level, executive level, this conversation is important. So right now, and I was watching a video earlier about a guy was talking about the car dealership industry, and he was talking about how just the demand for cars is not there. And I mean, the demand for cars is high, the supply is low. And he was talking about how they're out of chips. And because it's not just because, hey, the demand for cars slowed down. On top of that, because all these other sectors kicked in virtually because of COVID, there was this demand for chips in different sectors, right? And so he's just like, well, it's crazy. He was going on talking about how crazy it was. He was talking about how he was driving around and he started seeing signs for people for businesses that had shut down because they couldn't find labor. They literally couldn't find people to hire. They couldn't find people to work. And it's because people were getting paid to essentially be at home, be on unemployment. And it was worth more from a money standpoint and likely their comfort standpoint to stay home and work. Again, there's something to this, y'all. There's something to this. So again, hang on with me. Now, taking that into account, right, because people don't want to work, there's a shortage, yada, yada, okay? So businesses now are having to, I'm seeing, and I was driving down the road, I can't remember where I was coming from, close to here, and I remember I passed the Domino's I used to work at while I was in college, and I saw a sign up and it said paying a hiring bonus of $500. Now I'm like, whoa. Where was this bonus when I worked there? First off, and second off, right? Who do I need to tell to go get that bonus? Because you don't get $500 as a bonus working for Domino's. It just doesn't happen. But I started seeing this stuff other places though, where there were other stores, other companies offering these signing bonuses, and it just became this ridiculous thing of wow. Right? Wow. People really need labor right now. But on the flip side, there's this other complaint about how jobs won't be available, how opportunities won't be available. Not because the government doesn't make them available, not because the economy is tanking, but because of one thing and one thing only. The main thing that will change the way that everything operates is this. This right here, these right here, the automation and robots. Robotics, automation will make all the difference when it comes to what's available to you, what jobs you can get, what opportunities you have. And so I find it crazy that we came from an environment where we're complaining about this right here to this environment we're here right now where people don't even want to work. And so what's going to happen is these companies who were holding back on this are going to just speed up the process. They're going to expedite the innovation. They're just going to move to this faster. Because why wait for people to want to show up? You got to still try to pay them close to minimum wage. They'll complain. They may need time off. They may not show up. They'll complain. They want benefits. They'll complain. Or you can do this right here. You don't have to worry about hiring people. You just maintain this. Now, I say all of this because this is the direction that the world is going in, whether we like it or not. Now, what COVID has done is accelerated this. Because before COVID, even if we talk about our space of coaching, speaking, and training, if you are your typical event planner and you were used to having to go through this process of having an event and decorating and things, that was your bread and butter, you got replaced. Either you innovated into the virtual space of event planning or you got replaced by guys like me. Right? Because somebody can hire me and say, hey, the event space is virtual. I need you to just go set up the online space for us to meet and have this event. Right? Because that's the direction we're going. So that's already one business that had to eat the dust. Now, thankfully, things are getting back to normal and we'll start seeing those things coming back. But it will never be the same. Right? It will never be exactly the same. Those things will change. Those things will evolve. People will make. So when it comes down to it now, and somebody says, "Hey, I can do this live event and spend, $10,000 on this venue, or I can use this. I can use virtual platforms, software, automations, and hire people at a share of that." Now, I'm not saying that we that cheap. I'm just saying you can hire folks at a share of what you could have had you gone full out and got yourself a live venue. So now that option is feasible because this environment has made it more comfortable. Now, so what you have to tell yourself, right, and this is why, again, it works. It's important to have folks in your corner that get this stuff. Is look, like even in my group, my clients that are in here, we have innovative conversations. I'm always trying to challenge their thinking. How can you look forward? How can you think forward? How can you zoom out, see the big picture, and make sure that your business is protected by these changes? Because again, when I say how long you will last, right? How long will you last in the current space, doing it the current way, right? At the current level in which you're playing. So that's the question. That's the real question. Is how long will you last? How long will your organization last? How long will your company last? How long will your business last? How long will your career last? How long will your industry last? In the way that it operates now, at the current level in which it operates, under the picture as it sits currently. You have to take some time to ask yourself that question. Right? You have to take some time to ask yourself those kind of questions. So when you ask yourself that question, what are the vulnerabilities? What things in your business, whether it's coaching, whether it's speaking, whether it's consulting, what things in your business are at risk? So right now, for instance, being somebody who works in automation, building funnels wasn't always an easy task. Now every platform has its own funnel builder and is doing their own automation, email marketing thing. And so it makes things easier for somebody who's willing to do the work. And so it does displace folks like myself in some ways, again, if you're not savvy. But I'm aware of that because that's why I'm doing certain things. That's why I'm building the coach's catalog, right? That's why I'm building the coach's catalog. That's why I have my own program where I'm now infusing software, because I understand I can no longer just rely on, hey, I'm going to build out the thing for you, because they're going to say, well, I got these different things and these platforms that do it all. And, I can just do this overnight, or I can do it myself. And that's fine, because there are more people that can do that. So I have to find other ways to innovate the business, have the other ways to navigate. Now I've moved to, and I'm trying to master and get more to building more platforms, because building out platforms is even becoming easier. But again, that's another segment that I can introduce to people, coaches, speakers, and trainers, consultants who aren't used to it. So I'm always trying to see a little bit ahead, and I haven't been ahead as I would love to be, but I'm getting there. Right, I'm getting there. I've been keeping my mind on it. Now I'm trying to have the actions match. And so what I have to ask you is your mind on it? And so first off, is your mind on it? And if your mind is, are your actions matching it? And if not, it's time for yourself to tap in, tune in to a program, to a group of people, to folks who are not only trying to make sure your mind is on it, but also making sure that you have the resources to take action, again, when you're ready. So again, check us out at automatewithease.com. That is a free training. So even if you aren't interested in talking to us, but if you want to, go through the free training, watch that first, then hop on the phone with us. We can talk about how we can help you. But at the end of the day, the question I want you to ask yourself, now feel free to answer it for me. That's fine. Now ask yourself, how long will you last? And if you don't run a business and you just work a regular job, how long will you last before these friends here, these friends here come for you? How long? How long you think? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know down in the comments. And ask others about this as well, and tag them and share. All right, y'all. So I appreciate y'all. Appreciate all that you do. This one is a quick one today, just because I want to get y'all thinking. I want y'all marinating on it. I want y'all to really sit in and sink in this and understand that it's only a matter of time before the forces of government, the forces of economics, the forces of politics push everything in this direction. And COVID has proven that the market will always adapt, with you or without you. And so if you're not equipped to keep up with the market will live on. The market will continue to thrive in many different ways. But if you're not ready to keep up and keep on, you'll get left behind. Otherwise, hang out with us. Again, automatewithease.com, so you can learn how to automate and put systems in place in your coaching business, so you can have the faculty, the mental faculty, the mental space, the mental room to be able to creatively find ways to see the bigger picture, to be able to see the future, and most importantly, take action on those things. I appreciate you and all that you do. Make sure you share this with a friend, a family member, or a foe, because they need this information too. I'll see you in the next one. And as usual, treat each day as a building block to a better future. Peace.